Welcome back to the show. Well, it's that time of year where we're trying to get our kids outdoors even more, and I guarantee our friend Andrew Milne would tell you they should be outdoors year-round, never mind just when the beautiful weather comes. But a great thing to do when the beautiful weather comes along is rock collecting. I remember it when I was a young boy. It's so much fun to do, but Andrew probably has a twist on it. We're joined by Andrew Milne from Andy Camper. Welcome to the show.
Hello.
Great to have
Hi,
you back here.
how are you?
Excellent. How you doing?
I'm excellent, and we got heavy pockets. Heavy
Yes.
pockets of rocks.
Yes.
So today's activity, actually, we started doing this a couple years ago, but it sort of keeps coming up more and more. My son and I were out doing some geocaching this weekend. We were out with 4 kids, and they're all, in that 6 to 7-year-old range, and they're picking up rocks and putting them in their pocket.
Oh, yeah.
Walking through the woods. By the end of the trip, we're saying, what are you doing? And he says, this is my pocket. I took this out of his pocket this morning.
Look at that.
So we keep coming back to this, and it's the right time of year for it, because
Yeah.
the leaves are just coming, but it's a great time to see these rocks along the shores and so on. So what we've done is today I want to show you, we get these bags. This is what we get of these rocks, and they're usually in
Right.
pockets, and they show up in the washing machine.
Yes, exactly.
No, it's true. And then
You
they
don't
just
want
lay
them.
around in the bag.
Yeah.
So what we've done is we've actually got an easy-to-make at-home activity for either after the trip or before the trip. A lot of kids want to display their rocks.
Right.
And they become, it's not just, rocks. These are their rocks. And every rock's got a story and a place and a location and what makes it special. So the 2 types of things that we've seen kids doing is they want to get, the more interested ones want to sift for rocks.
Okay.
So I'm going to get you to show you just an
Oh,
easy
yeah?
way to
All
do
right.
some sifting.
Okay.
And the other side is, over here we've got a very simple egg carton rock collection kit. And this is something you can do at home.
Oh,
Takes
I
about
love it.
3 minutes to build.
Okay.
If you get all the pieces set out for you, which I've done.
Thank you.
And it's allowed to be for rocks. You can use it for tree bark. You can use it for leaves. You can use it for all sorts of things. And so we start seeing that these collection kits started with rocks, and you can build them by trip or by location or by type of rock.
Okay.
And so we had a way of labeling it. So basically, what I want to show you about the sifting is you find kids outside all the time, and they're digging through dirt. They're digging.
Oh, yeah.
And one of the things we find when we give them a net or a sifting tool, and really all this is if you live in the Glebe or go to the Great Glebe Garage Sale, this is everywhere.
Okay.
Oh,
This
of
is a
course.
buck to buy, or it's just a piece of screen on some wood. You use
All
some
right.
duct tape to put it on there, and you just just do this, put a scoop of this on top
Okay.
of the screen,
All right.
and this whole process just allows us to start kids to actually start finding, and they do it around the playground. And so I've got 3 or 4 of these.
in them hills.
Well, it's funny, we got these around the playground, and kids start sifting through, and they'll start seeing that the rocks start coming to the top, and they'll start wanting to identify them. So a
I
big
like
thing
this
with
one.
Andy Camper, one of our most popular activities online has been rock collection.
Really?
I'm not surprised.
I'm actually very surprised. I didn't expect that the rock collection part would be so obvious as a need, but the educators have found us. So we've got a group out of Minneapolis that's using it as their main resource.
Oh,
And-
love hearing that.
Yeah, and we've got a geologist who's a friend of mine, and he gets on. He's the greatest guy for this. He just gives you the strap, just the facts, ma'am.
Yeah.
And he gives the greatest delivery of just what these rocks are and why they're great. And that has been a resource that we keep getting comments on, so we're building on that. And this whole thing, having these kids sitting in the playground, sifting this stuff out, one, it gets garbage out of the playgrounds, but
Yeah.
it also gets to see them identifying the rocks.
I see it. I see this one right here.
And so these
Oh
are,
yeah, good ones.
So
See, I would
understanding
never know
these
know
kits,
any of them.
These kits are about $10 a piece.
Okay.
Which is not something that every family wants to spend.
Right.
But the online cards allow you to do the exact same thing. So the Andy Camper cards identify the rocks,
okay.
and when you click on them, you can actually get the person telling you about the rock, why it's important, what it looks like.
So
and
you
what's
get an audio.
Oh, nice.
you get a full video.
A full video.
full video.
Even
Oh.
better.
Yeah, and so these rocks are just the starting set that we have, and there's more online as well. So the idea is that gather your rocks, put them in a rock collection kit, and then learn something about them.
And then you
Yours
can
is
probably label them.
Ironstone.
I've got
So-
the ironstone here.
Now, and it's interesting because a lot of these rocks you see, these are all native to Canada, and these ones are especially in Ontario.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
So you
right.
actually see some pretty interesting rocks. So what I want to do is I want to get down to showing you how to make
Yeah.
All
this.
right.
Let's do it.
Yeah, I've got my
So-
rocks, TL. I need a kit.
Okay, I'll make one for you,
Okay,
Derek.
thank
So
you.
the first thing is the handle.
Yes.
So what you usually do is take a piece of duct tape about the length of the box and fold it in half.
Yes, which
Duct tape, the
has
magic
already
camping,
been done. He's so nice. Look at it. Everything is pre-done.
And now what you do is lay it on top. And then you take the 2 pieces of tape about 4 inches long,
Which are right here.
magically created, and you put about an inch in. That's good.
Okay.
Then you made a bit of a bubble in the middle to give it a handle. There you go. And then you put the tape at the other end as well.
That's
And-
easy enough.
Sorry about the dirt, TL, but
That's
the-
all right,
I'm
my
finding
friend.
more rocks.
That's
Andy
what we
Camper, it's
do.
about getting dirty.
It's
Exactly.
and you know what? Oh man, I loved that about outdoor play. Just getting right in there.
Well, and it's interesting, the kids that they see, obviously my son doing this, so they come over. So I've got 3 or 4 of these on the back doorstep now that kids come over and constantly are adding rocks to.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, yeah. So now you open it up, and one of the things on the inside is that you can do a bunch of different things. What I've done is I've used one of these little Dymo guns because we happen to have it for all the anti-camper stuff.
Right.
But you can take as easily as just using a piece of tape or Avery labels and just hand write them out and stick them on the inside of the lid.
Okay.
So the idea is you can identify them, you can put dates on them, that whole tracking of information piece,
Yeah.
so that when you go online, you can identify and know which one's there.
Well, I
and
love
build
the
collection.
idea you said. You don't even have to identify the stones themselves. Maybe you're going to put labels on where you found them, or
Exactly.
maybe they're going to say why they like the rock. Just a quick little one word.
And let's not underestimate the value of duct tape in this process.
Of course.
So taking a
That's a
toothpick,
Canadian thing.
taking a toothpick and folding duct tape over top of it, and putting a permanent marker on it,
Yeah.
and then driving it into the hole in between to actually give you different types of rocks, different dates, different pieces. And so this allows you to you can add them in the center there,
Okay.
or you can write something on, like
I
Derek's
should
rock.
put some duct tape over top like you have
What I
here.
typically do is I add a piece of duct tape because the holes get punched out depending on the
Here, let me-
egg
Okay, but
carton.
let's pretend.
All
Let's
right,
pretend.
okay.
Let's say we did that already. Okay.
And you push it
Alright.
about halfway down so that you can, yeah, it's okay. And so that you can, as you see, the reason we need the duct tape.
Ah,
is
that's
it-
why
here,
you need
here.
duct.
Look it,
okay,
I'm-
yeah,
I'm
see,
in-
because
I'm here
it
for
does
ya.
create a little hole.
Yes.
Creates a little hole, so
Little
the duct
larger
tape
than
helps.
So the
expected.
resistance by putting the duct tape over allows it to
Yeah,
stay there.
there we go.
And by naming them, then we have this full set of rocks. You can add Derek's rocks
Okay,
into
I'm
it and
going
put a
to
name on
add
it.
your rock, which was ironstone.
Okay.
And you can put it, Derek.
You show me where to put it, Tia.
I will, because this is a group effort. Ironstone, right in here.
Now, do we have a travel bug update? I
Yes,
know TL's
yes.
travel bug has
I've been
made
wondering if you're going to bring
made
it up.
to France, and I've lost out on the
Travel bugs
competition.
in France, in Paris.
That's right. So doing this, build lots of them, have them on the shelf, collections, constantly change your collection. Keep updated.
Great idea.
Travel bugs. So we talked about geocaching. Every time I talk about this, people ask me, tell me more, Oh, I've got to do that. It's easy. Start doing it.
Yeah,
It's
it is
just
really
easy,
easy.
especially with all the mobile phones.
Yeah, no kidding.
I had someone call me and say, hey, can we go geocaching with you? I said, sure. It was online, they had a conversation. And we took them out, and there was 5 kids. We went into the woods, and we walked about 4 kilometers over a beaver dam, and they were amazed.
Wow.
Their eyes were like, this is behind our house? We went from their house, and we walked out, and we found 7 geocaches. And in that time, 7.
Wow.
And we actually dropped off some of the travel bugs, and I told them about your trip and your travel bugs that aren't doing so well. I think that maybe TL had a little help. I'm not sure, because that was a
Really?
pretty good jump. She had
Oh
a
my
big puddle
goodness.
jump. And then she's been visiting all the wonderful places. You're now in Finland.
Am I really in
Finland?
Finland?
You're in Finland.
I'm
You,
not
you,
even in Europe yet.
you spent
Yeah,
it.
once you're across the pond, though, you get to jump
Hop-
around a
hoppity
lot.
hop.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, I expect Germany's next.
Oh, I hope so.
Germany and Switzerland are big, So ask
Do
for
you
some
know
chocolate.
who it was that actually got me across the pond?
It was one person, actually. They picked you up in Ottawa, and they took you with them. They kept them in your possession for about 3
Lovely.
weeks, and then jumped it right there.
Isn't that
Interesting.
something?
Right to the Champs-Elysees. It wasn't...
I know, right?
I was-
Champs-Elysees. I said that I recognized where she was, for sure. Oh, it was amazing.
So our next step is we really have to get Derek out there. So if anybody
Yeah.
can help Derek along,
Yeah.
he's now in Quebec though, so he's moving to Montreal. So I think he's gonna spend some time in Montreal.
I like Montreal.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful place.
I'll bring it over.
All right. Thank you so much for being here, Andrew.
Thank you.
Always
Thanks
a
for having us on.
pleasure.
This
You
is
want to
fun.
find out more information, get your kids outside. Go to andycamper.com. They have hundreds of activities
Yeah.
for you to do with your kids outside. Listen, don't go away. We're talking Sens Mile with St. Louis Bar and Grill right after the break.